Hello, YouTubers, and welcome to Level-Headed News. This is your host, Brenda. This is the second of the episodes that I have for you this morning, and this will be the final one today, unless there, of course, is some kind of breaking news. And with it being Inauguration Day, I would not be a bit surprised. I have 4 articles in this edition, and they are listed, the URLs are listed in the description of this video for you to pull up and take a look at it your own jurisprudence there. First one here is off of westernjournalism.com. It says Walmart adding 10,000 jobs, investing $6.8 billion into U.S. stores. Walmart announced Tuesday that it will create 10,000 jobs and invest $6.8 billion in its U.S. operations, drawing a cheer from President-elect Donald Trump. Walmart said its plans to create 59 new or relocated Walmart and Sam's Club stores would create 24,000 construction jobs. The jobs Walmart promised would come from those new stores and increase e-commerce services. Trump had promised in his campaign that he would make job creation a centerpiece of his administration. And there is some video and some tweets and things in this if you want to pull it up to take a look at them. It says, with the presence in thousands of communities and vast supplier network, we know we play an important role in supporting and creating American jobs, said Dan Bartlett, Walmart Executive Vice President for Corporate Affairs. Our 2017 plans to grow our business and our support for innovation in textile industry, we have a meaningful impact across the country, he said. Walmart employees, it's got something trying to play here, so let's shut that down. There we go. Walmart employs about 1.5 million people across this nation. Trump noted Walmart's plan Tuesday on Twitter. He says, thank you to General Motors and Walmart for starting the big jobs pushback into the U.S. It says Trump noted that the new job announcement is part of a larger pattern. And he's got some more tweets. He says, with all of the jobs I am bringing back into the U.S., even before taking office, with all of the new auto plants coming back into our country, and with the massive cost reductions I have negotiated on military purchases and more, I believe the people are seeing big stuff. Walmart is one of several companies to announce job increases this month. Amazon has promised to create 100,000 new jobs in the United States. Automakers Ford, GM, and Fiat Chrysler have also unveiled plans to grow U.S. jobs and expand U.S. plants. Collectively, the 3 automakers have proposed investing $2.7 billion in U.S. plants and creating 2,700 jobs. The next one that I have for you is off of the dailymail.co.uk, and it says, CIA unveils new rules for putting Americans under surveillance just 2 days before Trump takes power. CIA revealed its new rules for collecting and storing information on Americans. New restrictions mean CIA has to dispose of personal data of Americans it comes across during its probes within 5 years. The new rules were published in full for the first time on Wednesday. It comes just 2 days before Donald Trump will be sworn in as president. Trump has said previously he favors stronger government surveillance powers. The Central Intelligence Agency has unveiled revised rules for collecting, analyzing, and storing information on American citizens just 2 days before Donald Trump is sworn in as president. The new restrictions imposed by the U.S. Attorney General will force the CIA to dispose of the personal data of Americans it comes across during its probes within 5 years. New rules, which were published in full for the first time on Wednesday, were released amid continued public discomfort over the government's surveillance powers. Issues surrounding surveillance gained prominence, followed by revelations in 2013 by former government contractor Edward Snowden that the National Security Agency, or the NSA, secretly collected the communications data of millions of ordinary Americans. The guidelines were published 2 days before Trump is sworn into office and may be changed by the administration. Trump has said he favors stronger government surveillance powers, including the monitoring of certain mosques in the United States. The CIA is largely barred from collecting information inside the United States or on U.S. citizens, but a 1980s presidential order provided for discrete exemptions governed by procedures approved by the CIA director and the Attorney General. Known as the Attorney General Guidelines, the original rules over time became a patchwork of policies and procedures that failed to keep pace with the development of technology that can store massive amounts of digital data, said Crass. Legislation gave U.S. intelligence agencies 2 years to develop procedures limiting the storage of information on U.S. citizens. The new procedures under development for years were signed on Tuesday by CIA Director John Brennan and Attorney General Loretta Lynch. While the 1982 guidelines were made public 2 years ago, sections were blacked out. The updated procedures were posted in full for the first time on the CIA's website on Wednesday. The updated procedures include what CIA must do when it clandestinely obtains a computer hard drive holding millions of pages of text, hours of videos, and thousands of photos containing information on foreigners and U.S. citizens. Because extensive time and many analyses are required to assess such large volumes of data, the new rules regulate the handling of material whose intelligence value cannot be promptly evaluated. They also regulate how much data can be searched and create strict requirements for dealing with unevaluated electronic communications, which must be destroyed no later than 5 years after the first are examined. The rules were unveiled a week after civil liberties groups decried new guidelines approved by the Obama administration, expanding the NSA's ability to share communication intercepts with other U.S. intelligence agencies, including the CIA. And there's a picture of Snowden here, and it says issues surrounding surveillance gained prominence following revelations in 2013 by former government contractor Edward Snowden, pictured that the National Security Agency, the NSA, secretly collected the communications data of millions of ordinary Americans. The next article that I have for you is off of Natural News, and it says, identity theft using selfies. Your fingerprints can now be stolen from your pictures. If you like to display the peace sign when posing for pictures or selfies, there's a new strategy you should employ, effective immediately. Make sure the back or fingernail side of your hand is displayed and not the fingerprint side. If you are featured in any online photos where you are exposing your fingerprint, you might want to reconsider, or try that again, you might want to consider deleting those as soon as possible. Photos that are shared and stored online create an active database of fingerprints for thieves to exploit. Advancements in photo manipulation software can now lead to identity theft because it is now possible for identity thieves to successfully obtain your fingerprint data from images. Japanese professor Asayo Etchison knows the dangers of exposing your fingerprints firsthand. Etchison is advising people to reconsider the innocent peace sign pose after a recent experiment was conducted by his team at I'm not sure what that is. It's N11 or NII's Digital Content and Media Science Research Division, where they were able to successfully retrieve people's fingerprint data from photos that were taken from distances up to 3 meters away. Fingerprint data can be recreated if fingerprints are in focus with strong lighting in a picture, said Etchison. The technique Etchison describes doesn't use any special software, but certainly requires good lighting. Low light pictures aren't a significant threat now, but could become more serious in the future as mobile cameras become more sophisticated. Whenever possible, it is important not to rely on security measures that require fingerprint data. Biometrics are becoming increasingly accepted form of reliable security. And let me shut that off. There we go. That's distracting. Biometrics are becoming an increasingly accepted form of reliable security, replacing passwords and other safeguarding solutions in many instances. Keeping your fingerprints private is now a valid concern. You may always change your password after being hacked, but you can't change your fingerprints. Professor Utchin believes that celebrities are most vulnerable to the new method of identity theft due to the high number of photographs they generally appear in. While regular individuals might downplay the threat, this is a real situation which has already caused everyday people to become victims of ransom scams because they compromise the security of their digital data. An ordinary photo is all it takes for a thief to gain the ability to copy your fingerprint. The progression of technology in high quality digital photos has opened one side of the vulnerability of the other side, or to the other side, being technology akin to Touch ID, which turns your fingerprints into digital keys that can be used to unlock many of the devices we use today. A third vulnerability exists within the technologies that use our fingerprints for verification or validation. Touch ID, similar fingerprint verifying security measures, are likely to store your fingerprint data so that it can be compared to the print that is trying to gain access to measures. The fact that your fingerprint data could be stored up in a cloud for comparison raises additional security concerns, because hackers might be able to obtain that data in a security breach similar to what we often see with major companies. In Aichin's home country of Japan, as many, or try that again, in Aichin's home country of Japan, as in many parts of the world, the peace sign is a common gesture shown in photos. However, it isn't the sole hand gesture that could compromise your security. Other common gestures like waving or giving thumbs up also create the same security vulnerability. When a fingerprint is matched with a person's face, it creates a significantly greater threat for identity thieves to use the biometric data with malicious intent. The fingerprint sensor on your phone is the key to unlocking all the private information that is stored on the device. This is not the first warning advising people that their fingerprint data needs to be protected. Back in 2014, a hacker demonstrated an eerily similar technique where he successfully replicated a German politician's fingerprints from a public photo. The hacker then proceeded to create a three-dimensional mold of the fingerprint, which was capable of unlocking a secured phone. And there is another article that you can pull up to take a look at on this if you want to. It's called Technology Glitches and Failures at glitch.news. So there's that one. That's something that we need to be aware of. The next one is off of healthnutnews.com. It says, no evidence of aloe vera found in aloe vera at Walmart, CVS. Picture this. It's the middle of June, and the sun is starting to make regular stops in the sky, no longer hidden by the clouds. The temps are starting to remain above 70 all the time. It's summer. But every once in a while, even if you're super careful, that sun, which feels too good to move out of after the long winter, will bite you. No worries, you think. I've got aloe vera from Walmart. Nope. Turns out aloe vera gel they sell contains no evidence of aloe vera at all. From the article, it says samples of store brand aloe vera gel or aloe gel purchased at national retailers Walmart, Target, and CVS showed no indication of the plant in various lab tests. The products are all listed aloe barbendis leaf juice, another name for aloe vera, as either the #1 ingredient or #2 after water. As the USDA doesn't approve cosmetics before they are sold, which allows countless harmful chemicals in healthcare products, us and our environment, all in the same name of profit, suppliers are on the honor system. Aloe's 3 chemical markers, acmanin, malic acid, and glucose, were absent in the tests for Walmart, Target, and CVS products conducted by a lab hired by Bloomberg News. The 3 samples contained a cheaper element called maltodextrin, a sugar sometimes used to imitate aloe. The gel that's sold at another retailer, Walgreens, contained 1 marker, malic acid, but not the other 2. That means the presence of aloe can't be confirmed or ruled out, said Ken Jones, an independent industry consultant based in Chapala, Mexico. Target Corp didn't want to comment on the study, but spokesman for Walmart, CVS Health Corp, and Walgreens Boots Alliance Incorporated said their suppliers confirmed that their products were authentic. From the article, it says the 4 gels that Bloomberg had analyzed were Walmart's Equate Aloe After Sun Gel with pure aloe vera, Target's Up and Up Aloe Vera Gel with pure aloe vera, CVS's After Sun Aloe Vera Moisturizing Gel, and Walgreens Alcohol-Free Aloe Vera Body Gel. The lab that did the testing requested anonymity to preserve its business relationships. The test used a technique called nuclear magnetic resonance. It found additives such as maltodextrin and other ingredients like triphenylmine, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. It's an emulsifier. In all the samples, lactic acid, a component that indicates degraded aloe vera, was absent. Fruit of the Earth, the Texas-based company that makes the gels for Walmart, Target, and Walgreens, said their aloe supplier, Concentrated Aloe Corp, uses fair trade organic aloe that's farmed and processed in Guatemala. And there's some video here if you want to take a look at it. It says, someone's not telling the truth, even though they just got caught. As Tim Meadows, president of Concentrated Aloe Corp, sees it, nuclear magnetic resonance isn't a reliable test on aloe products because the presence of multiple ingredients can cause interference, and there's no way to test for aloe finished products. So while it's true that nuclear magnetic resonance wasn't designed to study aloe vera in cosmetics, the lab results still suggest that the plant isn't a major component of the products. Lawsuits filed. Regardless of the test, several law firms have filed lawsuits against the 4 retailers since separate testing failed to find aloe in the private label products. They're seeking class action status and restitution for all the customers who they say were misled. And while I don't personally buy from one of the retailers mentioned, I can't blame the people who were duped. Beneficial plant with healing properties. Aloe vera, a succulent, is farmed in hot climates like Texas and Mexico. The plant's spiky leaves contain a clear goo that people have used as topical ointment to treat burns and other skin problems for millennia. It's also really good in your juice and is good for healing inflammation, including internal. In fact, ancient Egyptians knew it as plant of immortality. It was even found on stone carvings from 6,000 years ago. People swear by aloe because it lives up to the hype. In fact, many people just keep the succulent around the house rather than buy a product. Turns out that was a better idea than buying it at Target. It's cheap to purchase, can grow from shared cuttings, and will save you in the kitchen or sun after a burn. So there you have the information on those products. That's good to know. If you like what I'm doing here, give it a thumbs up, share it on your social media so everybody gets to hear the news. Don't forget to subscribe. If you click that little bell next to the subscription button and check the box, you'll get email alerts every time I put a show up, and that way you'll stay informed. I'm sure there'll probably be more news today with it being Inauguration Day, so stand by. I'll see you later.